Hello everybody, welcome to day 1 of 100. Today we begin our Wander Through the Wilderness walkthrough, Trails Taken. Now, hopefully you have your book already, signed up and ready to go with your date, your title, your number sequence. You're telling yourself that you're giving yourself permission and you're going to trust the process. So you're going to sign your name if you haven't done that already, and split that off. That's one section to itself. And then the next section, we're going to begin with today's headline, which is Who You Are. So this is question 1 of 100. Who you are. Your full name. You need your first, middle, and last. So on your paper, write that question, even though it's not posed as a question. Full name. Full name. And I'm going to put my first name first. My first name is Tammy. Okay, and I see I've given myself this much room for the valley of our journey. So we, peaks and valleys. So we want to keep to the peaks. We want to keep to the positive stuff this time, right? We're going to come back to this stuff at a later date. So we're just writing it down so that we have an account of it so that we can look at it deeper later. No need to fall into that right now. So full name, Tammy, whatever your name might be. And then your middle name. So I'm going to put it like halfway down. Scarlett, and then your last name, your current last name. I know a lot of women have stopped changing their last name when they get married. I know a lot of women are taking their mother's names. This is part of the work too. So we're going to go back to our first our first name, and write everything that we can think about that might pertain to the name, whatever comes up for you. So I'm just going to start writing, and I will come back and then I will tell you the things that I wrote about myself. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So things that I've brainstormed here with my own name. Tammy means the palm tree in Hebrew. It's also Tamar, the lover. There's a few other ones. Thomasina, the twin. Yeah, this is what you do, right? Look up all the things, Google them. You might know, you might ask your parents, why they chose that name in particular. Mine was chosen from the song Tammy's in Love from Tammy and the Bachelor, which was sung by Debbie Reynolds. Backwards, my name is Matt, or I am Matt, which if it's the twin, then my twin, because I would think it would be Thomas, because the opposite masculine version of Tammy is Thomas. With that version, it says I am Matt. So maybe I'm not Thomas, maybe I'm more Matt. So we'd look up those names and see what fits, what doesn't fit. Let's see. Oh, and of course being, when you're younger and maybe being teased. So there's a little bit of a trigger, right? Like Tammy Faye Baker. She had not very attractive makeup, and, that name kind of made people look at you funny. But that's something that you would put down in the bottom, right? So that would be a trigger. So I would put teasing. And I think I should put Tammy besides her. So I put the name in the margin there, and then teasing. So I would look at that myself later, how teasing would affect me, that kind of trigger, when we get to the shadow work. So I'm going to pause again and work on Scarlett, and then I'll be right back. I suggest you work on your middle name too. Welcome back. So for my middle name, Scarlett, I've got where it came from, which is Gone with the Wind. So maybe yours came from a movie, or maybe yours was handed down in a long tradition. If you don't know, find out. Ask some questions. If you don't know certain things about yourself, you should find out. These are important things. Even though they seem like trivial things, everything kind of is a little puzzle piece of yourself. Scarlet, the color red. I had an aversion to the color red growing up. Everybody thought I should like red because my middle name was Scarlett. So that could go under a trigger. Scarlet. It was misspelled on my birth certificate, I believe by my father, which my mother sort of wasn't very impressed about. I don't think it was actually spelt incorrectly. I think it was just written without care. And it ended up looking like Scar-Lott with L-O-T-T. And I've got a lot of scars. So I actually, because they wouldn't let me use that on my passport, because it's supposed to be Scarlett, like Scarlett O'Hara, I had to legally change it to make the E officially E, so it didn't look like an O. So, that being said, now my name is Scarlett, so the scars that I incur going forward are ones that I let happen. So I know now that they are choices, and even accidents sometimes come because of a choice. Not all of them, but looking back on my life, I see a lot of things that could have went a different way had I made a different choice. Oh, and also in the middle of my name, when you put Tammy and Scarlett together, as you can see this, I can't see, I don't have my glasses on. Here, Tam, my Scarlett. So my scar is in the middle. And that's kind of what I'm working on here, right? My scars, my traumas, my injuries, my things. I work on those so that I can pass on what I've learned to other people so that they can get out of their crap way quicker. Okay, on to our last names. Okay, so our last names, my last name officially is Rickert. That is what is on my passport. That's what it's been changed to. I've been other names, but those will come later. We're going with what is currently on our official documentation. So mine's Rickert, and that is my step name. My mother remarried, and though I wasn't adopted by him, I did adopt his name myself legally, as I had been that. I didn't know that he wasn't my father to begin with as a child, and well, eventually I took that name because it was always on my documentation, going to school and things, and then I had to make it legal when it had to go on official, I believe it's my passport, that they said, you can't use this name because it's not officially yours. So because I'd been known that my whole life, I thought I should change it. And so that's my name currently. Even after being married, I resorted back to that name because it was what I'd been known by other than being married. It's also, Rickert is also my sibling's name. I have two half-sisters, sorry, not stepsisters, my half-sisters, and they're lovely people. So that name, for me, triggers them, and that's all that matters to me. I love them with all my heart. Let's see. Oh, interestingly, Rickert used to be von Richter. So I hope my sisters one day look into that, because I think that's genealogy and ancestry is super interesting. Well, we get more into that later, but for now, we just go with our names. And I put, for the trigger on the bottom, for my last name would be my stepfather. We had a tumultuous relationship and never really settled into a family feel, and that's a trigger that I still have to work on a little bit. And that's okay. That's what we're here to do, right? So I hope you work on those today. Don't get too deep down in the valley with the triggers on the bottom. Really work on the stuff up top. Do some digging in, look on Google. Maybe ask somebody if you don't know where it came from. And even you can just follow down maybe people who are not real who have that name. Maybe a myth, maybe like Tiamat, that's close to Tammy in my mind. Right? She was a she-dragon who was the mother of the gods or something. She was like one of the first beings, conscious beings. And I also believe that planet Earth, Gaia, that's something to do with her name, whether Tiamat struck Earth, and this is how we got the asteroid belt. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, it's just kind of fun to, think about something that's so everyday to us and try and see it in different ways. So until tomorrow, have fun and be well.